open your mouth to talk to your hubby, and suddenly you find yourself in a starring role in a medieval battle where he goes all shields up. Have you ever been there? This is a role that you never asked for, signed up for, auditioned for, but now you're in it. And now you're left feeling like you're spewing fire instead of sharing your heart. I can assure you that you're not the only one. I'm sure my wife have felt that way at some point in our 38 years of marriage, because there have been times when her approach made me feel like she was attacking me. And I went defensive. My shield went up. She was in this medieval battle she never asked for or auditioned for, or I find myself in that battle, or I just shut down. And in my almost 2 decades of working with couples as a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified relationship coach, I've heard these same phrase like you're sharing, that your husband feels attacked every time you try to share something with him. And I've heard that from so many wives. These stories over and over again by the wives who have sought out my services as a couple or as an individual. And so one of the things I also hear, it's very frustrating. And I can just imagine what that's like for you as you're trying to share your heart with your spouse, your husband. By the way, I'm Kingsley Grant, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and have been working with people like yourself, a wife or a husband, and for almost 2 decades. So I really have heard a number of stories like yours. But here's what I do believe. I believe this, that you love your husband, you love your man, but those sharing my feelings talks often turn into World War III. And no wonder you feel stuck, frustrated, and maybe hopeless, as if there's no way that you can ever get a chance to talk to him about matters that concerns you, matters of the heart. That is all going to change, because in this video, I'm going to share with you some not so obvious tips to help you express yourself without triggering his inner knight in shining armor. I'm going to help you to do that. Now, I want you to picture with me your feelings like a fence that you're trying to climb over to get to your husband, to reach him. But here's the thing. Every time you get close, bam, he builds it higher. That's where the frustration tend to come in, right? Because here's the problem. Immediately, for whatever reason, he feels attacked because his feeling fence is super tall. And that has been built by years of past experiences, maybe some of those with you, maybe past relationships or other contributing factors. But it also could be how his brain works, right? His brain may work that way. And whatever the SQ or the reason is, I'm sure it doesn't make it any less frustrating for you. And I can imagine, because all you want to do is find a way to share with him your heart. And I know what I like about the Proverbs where Solomon says this: a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger, in Proverbs 15, verse 1. So maybe it's part of what is happening is not just what you're saying or what we say, but it's how we say it. And I would just say it's both. It's what we say and how we say it. Maybe it's part of that. And again, I don't want to be here pointing the finger and blaming you and say this is your fault, because it's a combination, right? It's a co-creation. He has a part to play as well. It's not just you. So I love this quote by Ernest Hemingway that says this: before you speak, listen. Before you react, think. Before you write, understand. So I want to share with you then a few tips as to what you might do differently so you can feel connected, feel as if you could express your heart and you share your heart with your husband. And so I would suggest immediately that instead of him feeling or you are charging his fence because of whatever the issue is, instead of charging his fence, try build a bridge. Try build a bridge. And how do you do that? By you start by acknowledging his feelings, even if you don't agree. You may say, honey, I get that you might feel that I'm attacking you and feel the need to defend yourself. So I want to know, how would you rather me talk to you about certain issues that I'm concerned, curious about? How would you want me to talk to you about those issues? That could be a way of beginning to build a bridge. You can ask open-ended questions. Another questions like, for example, honey, honey, what can I do to support you more? Just out of the ordinary, just say, hey, what can I do to support you more? I feel like there's something I could possibly do that would make you feel more supportive or supported in our relationship. That is one of those things, again, about a bridge building. Another tip could be using I statements. For example, instead of being, in an accusatory way and pointing the finger at what he may have done or said, you could use a phrase such as, I feel sad or I feel hurt when, or I feel disappointed. I feel lonely when we don't spend time together. When you're so busy with your work, which I understand, but it makes me feel sad that I just can't be there for you as much as I would like to, right? It's I statements. Okay, you want to take away the you statement, like you always, you never, because those things are accusatory in nature and he will feel very defensive and feel like you're attacking him. Another tip is your body language. Watch your body language because your body language matters. If you have been following me for some time, you may have seen the viral short that I did about J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, and Ben Affleck. And you can see it right here where I talk about how body language matters. That video has blown up over 1 million+ views. Why? Because it's the body language that was communicated at that time. And that was really by Ben Affleck, not J-Lo, but Ben Affleck. But the point is, it's still about body language because your body language matters. So if you're going to feel like you're attacking his fence and not building a bridge, arms crossed or pointing the finger or a loud voice, those things can communicate a whole lot right away to your husband. So a soft voice, and that's why the Bible says a soft answer turns away wrath. Eye contact, those things can also be very helpful in softening his defense. Okay. There's something that someone have said this. It says, sometimes I think I need a translator for my own feelings. Maybe next time I'll just wear a t-shirt that says, feeling frustrated, please handle with care. Maybe, you could create that and just say, honey, I imagine me having this t-shirt on as I am coming to you. And imagine across the chest of my t-shirt is written, feeling frustrated, please handle with care. So that could be a way to, in a humorous way, possibly, if you want to try that, if your husband is up to that. Now, I wouldn't suggest you do that when things are just really off, right? Where the relationship is kind of struggling. I won't suggest that right away. I want to suggest what I said before about the building the bridges, right? So imagine that your husband, is spending a lot of time at work. He's trying to get some things finished. He's trying to truly crank out some things he believes is in the best interest of the family, right? So how can you apply some of these tips I've just mentioned? Well, it could be that you could use what we call a sandwich kind of approach, right? Where you acknowledge what's happening, acknowledge what is happening. So the acknowledgement is the first slice of the bread. Honey, like I mentioned before, honey, I'm really wanting to share some things with you. And I know it could be sometimes you get defensive, and I want to know the best way to share this with you. He shared it with you. Now the sandwich is The first part is the acknowledgement. Then in the middle is a meet where it becomes what you want to share. And the feedback at the end is the second part of the sandwich where you again acknowledge and thank him for listening, thank him for being appreciation, show your appreciation for him. That's a way to also communicate, right? So he's really very tired coming home from work. You could acknowledge that, man, honey, you have a long day, and I can't imagine how tired you must be right now. And I wonder, I would love to share something, ask you a question about something that, I don't say, I have something to talk to you about, because that drives husbands crazy, right? Just tell them what it is. Honey, I'd love to find out more about our trip that's coming up, or this bill that I saw that came in today, and I just really need some help understanding this. And I know that you could help me, but maybe we could do that later on if that's okay with you, right? So he feels as if you're inviting him into a co-creation of something, and he's not attacking him, especially after a long day at work. Or maybe you haven't seen him all day. He's been away for many, many hours. And you maybe, honey, I really miss you. Man, I know that you had a long day, really working hard for our family. And I really appreciate the work you do. I appreciate all the time you're putting in. And I get it. And I'm wondering how we could spend some time maybe later on, but your schedule might be where we could have a time just for you and I, just you and I. You may have ideas that you may be communicating them and wonder, okay, what could that be? Well, he'll find out later on, right? I love what the Bible said in Ephesians 4:31. It says, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with malice, right? We've just got to ditch the negativity and focus on building each other up. So I want to just encourage you then to really experiment with these ideas. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear what your thoughts so far, what I've just shared. Make sure you comment below and hit that subscribe button as well. Okay. So again, the I statements, the nonverbal, but make them love bombs, right? Eye contact, a warm feel, a smile. Those are called the love bombs, right? Make that what it is you're doing. Remember, communication is a team sport, right? I want to challenge you to try these tips and then share your results. Share your results in the comments. You say, Kingsley, I've done this before. Well, let me know what you've tried and why it did not work, right? Who knows? Maybe one day we'll be able to have feeling fences made of bright lights, Christmas lights, instead of barbed wires. That's what we're going after. And I believe that what I share with you could help you. So again, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you comment below and let me know your thoughts. And make sure that you watch this video that I describe right here. Not just this short, but also a video I did about an extended video on body language. So make sure you watch that you'll see right here. Hey, share this video with at least one other person. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch. And I'll see you on the next video right here on this channel. And tell someone else about it today. And I know you will. I'm watching you. Make sure that you do that. Okay? Again, thank you and God bless you, and see you next time.